You can change your life, but not everything at once.
If you could change one thing this year, what would it be, and what will you let go of?
You can absolutely change your life. You can become anything you want. But there's a hard truth we need to talk about. You can't become everything you want at the same time. This is where most people go wrong when they try to make a big change. They try to fix everything all at once. Their career, their health, their money, their relationships, their entire mindset. And what usually happens? They end up fixing nothing. It's too much, too fast, and the motivation just crumbles. So I want you to ask yourself one incredibly powerful question. Ready? At the end of next year, what would have to happen for you to look back and say, yes, this year was a success? Think about it for a second. When you really dig deep, most people have a shocking realization. Success usually comes down to just one or two really important things. Not 10, not 20. Just one or two things that would truly move the needle and make you feel proud. Let me give you an analogy I call the buffet problem. Imagine you're at a huge all-you-can-eat buffet. The food looks amazing, and you want to try everything. So you pile your plate high with a little bit of this, a little bit of that, until it's overflowing. Tell yourself, don't worry, my stomach will adjust. But it doesn't, does it? You end up feeling bloated and uncomfortable, and you didn't even truly enjoy any single dish. Your life works the same way. Your workload, your energy, your mental capacity, they don't just magically expand because you want to do more. This brings us to rule number 1 for meaningful change. To pick something new up, you must put something else down. It's a simple law of physics and a simple law of life. If you want to add a new goal, like starting a side hustle or training for a marathon, you must remove something else to make space. Stop assuming you can just do more than you already do. A much safer and more realistic mindset is this. This is the amount of time and energy I have. I can switch what I focus on, but I can't add unlimited things to my plate. You have to be a ruthless prioritizer. Now, let's talk about the goals you choose. So important to stop copying other people's dreams. You see someone online with a certain lifestyle and you think, I want that. But you can't wear someone else's success like a suit. It's tailored for them, not for you. Chasing someone else's version of success often leads to a painful realization down the road. You feel like you've spent years climbing a huge, difficult ladder, only to discover it was leaning against the wrong wall the entire time. The view from the top isn't what you wanted because the goal wasn't truly yours to begin with. You have to define what success means for you, and only you. Okay, so how do you actually do this? Big life goals can feel completely overwhelming, so don't think 10 years ahead. It's too far away, too abstract. Just think 1 year. 1 year is enough time to make a massive, life-altering change if you are focused. Then break it down even further. Every single morning, ask yourself this question. If I could only do one important thing today to move me toward my goal, what would it be? I'm not talking about the easy thing. I'm not talking about the comfortable thing. I'm talking about the scary thing. It's the one thing you keep putting off. Because let's be honest, we are masters of avoidance. People will clean their cupboards, rearrange their plates, and scroll endlessly on their phones, all to avoid one single uncomfortable task that would actually make a difference. We will choose to suffer years of low-level stress and anxiety just to avoid a few days of focused discomfort. But that's where the growth is. That one scary task is your ticket to progress. So, to recap, stop trying to change everything. Pick one, maybe two, meaningful goals for the next year. Be realistic about your energy. If you add something new, something old has to go. Make sure the goal is genuinely yours, not a copy of someone else's dream. And every day, tackle that one important, uncomfortable task that moves you forward. That's the secret. It's not about doing more. It's about doing what matters. Here's a hard truth most people never tell you. Problems aren't a mistake in your life. They're a fundamental part of it. There'll never, ever be a time when you have zero problems. Your problems will evolve. They'll change shape. They might get bigger or smaller, but they will never completely disappear. So instead of getting stuck asking, why is this happening to me? Try a different question. How can I get better at handling this? It's a subtle shift, but it changes everything from a feeling of helplessness to one of empowerment. Now think about this for a second. What were you really worried about 3 months ago? Go on, try to remember. Chances are you probably can't. Or if you can, it seems so much smaller now. Yet back then, it felt like the biggest deal in the world, right? So why are we so willing to sacrifice our happiness today for problems that our future selves woe and even recall? You're trading the peace of this very moment for stress that will eventually be forgotten. It's a bad deal. Let's talk about growth. Real, meaningful growth is almost always uncomfortable. It happens right at the edge of your comfort zone. Think of it like a sweet spot. It's not so easy that you're bored and not learning anything, but it's also not so hard that you feel completely overwhelmed and break. Most of our major life transformations happen right after significant challenges, things like heartbreak, failure, loss, or facing an extreme test of our limits. When you look back, you'll often find that those painful moments were the ones that truly shaped who you are today. This discomfort isn't a curse you have to endure. It's a gift. It's the very thing that forges a stronger, more resilient you. We live in a world that's obsessed with visible success. We chase the things everyone can see. The impressive job titles, the big salary, the social status, the fancy car. But what do we often trade away in this chase? We sacrifice the things people can't see. Our peace of mind, our free time, our physical and mental health, the quality of our relationships. Here is a classic example. Someone takes a job with a higher salary, but a much longer soul-crushing commute. Studies show they often end up less happy, not more. This kind of stressful success is a thief. It steals your sleep, your ability to be present with your loved ones, and your simple joy. If you're already living a comfortable life and you decide to trade your peace for more money, are you re-losing the very thing that money was supposed to help you get in the first place? This brings me to something I see all the time: productivity guilt. So many of us feel like we're constantly behind, no matter how hard we work. At the end of a long day, there's this nagging feeling that it still wasn't enough. We completely forget to celebrate our wins, but we're hyper-aware of every single mistake or thing we didn't get to. Imagine having a coach who only ever criticized you and never acknowledged your progress. You wouldn't thrive under that coach, would you? So why are you being that coach to yourself? That constant self-criticism is draining your energy and holding you back. It's time to fire that inner critic and become your own biggest supporter. Recognize your effort, celebrate the small victories, and give yourself the grace to be human. True productivity isn't about doing more. It's about feeling good about what you do. Have you ever heard of the lonely chapter? It's this weird in-between phase in life. It's when you've started to outgrow your old self, but you haven't quite stepped into your new one yet. It feels, well, lonely. Maybe you've decided to stop drinking, but your friends are still all about weekend parties. Or you've started hitting the gym every morning while they're still up late playing video games. You're changing, growing, but it feels like everyone else is staying exactly the same. Suddenly it's like you don't even speak the same language anymore. Conversations feel strained, hangouts get awkward, it's uncomfortable, and it can make you question if you're doing the right thing. But here's the truth. This phase is completely normal. In fact, it's essential. Every single person who has ever truly transformed their life has walked through this lonely chapter. It's the necessary space between who you were and who you're becoming. It's proof that you're moving forward, even when it feels like you're walking alone. This discomfort is the sound of your world expanding. So if you're in that chapter right now, know this: you're on the right path. This is the quiet before the breakthrough. Now, let's talk about energy. Making big changes, being the one who's different, takes a massive amount of it. Think about it. Your environment, your old habits, your social circles, they all have this gravitational pull, constantly trying to drag you back to what's normal. It's like swimming against a current. That's why, if you genuinely want to change, you have to be ruthless about cutting out distractions. You simply can't do everything all at once. You can't decide to change careers, lose 20 pounds, move to a new city, start a side business, and learn to play the piano simultaneously. It's a recipe for burnout and failure. Realistically, you can probably tackle one, maybe two, big life-altering projects per year, and that's it. That's not being lazy. It's being strategic. Trying to do more than that just spreads your limited energy to thin, guaranteeing that nothing gets the focus it needs to succeed. So pick your battles. Focus your power on what matters most right now and give yourself the best possible chance to win. So where does the fuel for this journey come from? Especially at the beginning? Let's be honest. In the early stages, motivation often doesn't come from a place of pure inspiration. It comes from frustration. It comes from insecurity. It comes from pain. It comes from a deep, burning desire to be seen, to prove someone wrong, or to escape a situation you can't stand anymore. And you know what? That's okay. Use it. Whatever that raw, uncomfortable emotion is, channel it. Let that frustration push you to the gym. Let that feeling of being overlooked fuel your late-night study sessions. Use that pain as a reminder of what you never want to go back to. This initial fuel source is powerful. Later on, as you build momentum and see results, your motivation will evolve. It will become more about passion, purpose, and self-improvement for its own sake. But at the start, use whatever you've got. Don't judge your fuel. Just use it to get the engine started and start moving forward. Finally, and this is the most important part, life is happening right now. Not tomorrow, not next year, not after you get the promotion or find the perfect partner. Right now, this moment. It's a sobering thought, but no one gets out of this life alive. In a few short generations, it's very likely that no one will even remember our names. And you might think that sounds depressing, but it's the most liberating thought in the world. If our time is finite and our legacy is fleeting, what are we so afraid of? Why are we waiting for the real life to begin? So many of us live with this mindset of, after I get through this busy period, then I'll start living. Or, once I achieve this one goal, then I'll be happy. But that's a trap. The waiting becomes the living. This is it. This messy, imperfect, beautiful, challenging moment is your life. So stop waiting. You will almost never regret trying something new, taking a chance, or stepping out of your comfort zone. The only thing you'll regret is the life you were too afraid to live. So go live it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
If you could change one thing this year, what would it be, and what will you let go of?